What purpose does the gentleman from Wisconsin seek recognition? The gentleman is recognized.
My colleagues, I rise today for a very happy purpose, and it is to recognize that the Honorable Don Young of Alaska as the new Dean of the House of Representatives. All right, shh. All right, shh. The tradition of having a dean, it dates back centuries to the House of Commons. It is an honor that goes to our longest continuous serving member. Don Young is one of only 28 Americans in our history of this nation to serve more than 40 years in this House. As you can see, he has a very bright future ahead of him. Don, I want to be clear at the outset that there are limits to the dean's duties. For instance, you cannot have a bearskin in the House chamber. You still cannot reserve seats. The dean has the responsibility of swearing in the speaker. Remember, that's swearing in the speaker, not swearing at the speaker. All right. This milestone is a real, it's not just a matter of longevity, but the word that comes to mind when you think of Don Young, loyalty. This man is fiercely loyal. Don Young is fiercely loyal to Alaska. He fights hard for what he believes is right. Just look at ANWR. I know it's controversial. Don Young, we've been talking about doing tax reform for 30 plus years here. Don Young has been working on ANWR for 45 years. When we passed H.R. 1 here in the House, that was the 13th time he passed an ANWR bill, and it finally made it into law. Achievements like this just don't happen overnight. They require leaders willing to carry in the torch what may. As we all know, Don Young is he's not the kind of guy who's going to let anything or anyone get in his way. He's loyal to his family and his friends, which includes many, many members of this body. He can be direct, but you always know where he stands, or more importantly, you always know where you stand with him. Here he comes. But most of all, as our dean, Don Young is loyal to this institution. On that, we all know. Decades on, Don Young believes as much as anyone in the value of the work that we do here. And as Don Young himself has so characteristically put it, those who think that I might retire, quote unquote, you can forget it. I like what I do. Don Young is a man of this institution. He believes in this institution. He believes in the work that we do. So on this, his 16,374th day in the House, we extend our congratulations to Don, to Ann, and their entire family. Thank you for your service to Alaska, and thank you for your service to this country, Don Young.
From California seek recognition.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to honor Congressman Don Young.
The gentlewoman is recognized.
To address the House. Mr. Speaker, I rise to join our distinguished speaker in honoring Congressman Don Young, who ascends to the position of Dean of the U.S. House of Representatives following nearly 45 years of proud service on behalf of the people of Alaska. Congressman Young also holds the distinction of serving as the first Dean of the House from the Republican Party in 80 years. Congratulations. On behalf of the Democratic Caucus, let me extend my congratulations to Don, to his wife Ann, and his entire family. Despite our differences, it is clear that Don cares deeply about our nation. Don serves because, in his words, he's enthusiastic about meeting people and trying to solve their problems. As a former teacher, he is an advocate for quality education for all. As a former U.S. Army tank operator, he believes in ensuring that service members, families, and veterans have the care they have earned. And in honor of his late beloved wife, Lou Young, he has been a champion for the Native children of Alaska. Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Dean. The motto, my colleagues, of the state of Alaska is North to the Future. In his commitment to progress and better futures for the people of Alaska, Don honors those words. The Dean of the House has the honor of administering to the Speaker, as Speaker indicated, the oath of office, which begins, I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. As Dean, Congressman Young will now have the special responsibility not only of defending the Constitution, but of defending the integrity and dignity of this institution, which he has done all along. Following in the footsteps of great leaders before him, Sam Rayburn, John Quincy Adams, Carl Vinson, it is now Don's solemn duty to help foster a climate of civility in the Congress and to hold our colleagues accountable. Why are you laughing, Don? For the behavior of raising a high standard for this body. I told Don I would tell you this story when I just congratulated him. Don has been very helpful to us in making the Presidio go from an Army post to a national park, a special kind of national park. And I hope you consider that part of your legacy, that you were part of establishing the Presidio in San Francisco. We'd love to welcome you there and honor you in San Francisco anytime you're ready for that, Don. But in the course of our conversations over those times, I noticed one day that Don had on this beautiful tie. It had like a bald eagle, it had a baby seal, it had these beautiful animals on it. And I said, oh, Don, what a lovely, beautiful, environmental tie you have on. He said, I call it lunch. Again, we know that Don Young will always honor the important obligations, as he always has, and now his new obligations as Dean of the House of Representatives. That's historic. Congratulations, and thank you for your service. Thank you.
Does the Dean of the House seek recognition?
Address the House for a minute.
The gentleman is recognized.
That's right, you got it right. First, let me thank the Speaker and the Minority Leader for their introductions. And I've been in this House 45 years with 9 speakers, 9 presidents. I've been in this House with 2,000 members that are left. I love this body. And I can suggest one thing: my greatest honor has been able to achieve results for my state. I am only congressman from the whole state of Alaska, and I love it. It's my responsibility to represent the state and this House as a single person to do the job I've been asked to do. One of the things that I have enjoyed is the friendships. I don't think there's an enemy in the House. I've worked across the aisle. Jimmy Oberstar and I never had an adversarial vote at any one time on the Transportation Committee. Now, when George Miller was the minority member, we had a lot of arguments and a lot of disagreements, but we hunted together and we ate together. I believe in bipartisanship. I believe in this body to lead this nation. 9 presidents, the House has its job to do regardless of who the president is. I want to thank my wife, who's in the audience, up there in the galley. Give her a hand. Man gets lucky usually once in his life. I got lucky twice. My past wife was with me for 46 and a half years. This new wife of mine has been with me about 8 years now. And I want the state to pay her because she keeps me alive and she likes what I do. So I want to thank my colleagues. Now, I will not change being the dean. I will still holler, "Vote!" I will sometimes get out of line. But in doing so, remember it comes from my heart. And my heart is in this house. Thank you very much.